that I have.
Yeah.
So I looked up, he's got a book called Chuck's Bigfoot Tinglers. So I had to get this book. And it's all, he's just got the wildest imagination.
Oh, I
And
love that.
yeah, and even though like he tends to write mainly like, male gay, well, I hope calling it smut isn't disrespectful because now we've liberated the word slut. So
Yeah.
hopefully
I
smut's
think
not.
I see smut as a term of endearment personally, but I
Yeah.
also love slut. And, so I'm like, oh, smut for a slut. Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks.
Right. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah. So anyway, I was not disappointed in the first story at all. Oh, great time to get a tickle.
Oh God.
So, oh God.
You want me to fill in for a second?
I think I got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the first story is about essentially the big feet, the Sasquatches in the world. They end up kind of like getting tired of hiding, so they come out of the woods and then start trying to make peace with humans and then working their way, into society, integrating. And then comes the time where there's the first Sasquatch president. And then this Chuck Tingle narrates and plays all the parts. So he plays like a journalist that goes in to interview the president, and it gets down and dirty pretty fast. And that's one of the things that I even appreciate about the differences in the different kinds of erotica that I've been listening to is, some of the gay erotica, for men it gets deep, hard and dirty fast.
Goes deep fast.
It goes deep fast with the
Brown
women's
chicken,
erotica, brown chicken, brown cow. Yeah, it's there's more story setup, relationship dynamic, tension, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Not that that's not there. They just get to it faster.
They get there fast. I think I might like that kind better.
The get to it
faster.
Yeah,
I like the get to it faster thing. I do want to bring up that this just a few days ago, Anne Rice passed away at age 80.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne Rice wrote under other names and wrote some of my favorite erotica when I was a young lady of 14 or 15 years old. And my favorite was basically, it was like Fantasy Island, but it was BDSM Island. And so I don't remember it super well because really I read it just like a couple times when I was like 15, 16, 17 years old.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's you go to this island and you are either there as like a servant or a master, and you stay in that role the whole time. And so that was kind of my first real exposure to dom sub relationships and stuff. And I have like, if I went back and read it today, I might be like, oh, so unrealistic, dude. But like, it was really sexy and hot and like some of the best erotica I had read, but also I was only 17, so who knows? It might be total trashy trash. But I love Anne Rice, so I'm going to stand by it and say it was awesome. I can't remember the name. I think, what did she write under? It was like Anne Roclair or something like that.
I have no idea. And my first question was gonna be, why didn't you tell me about this at that age?
I know. I think it was just like
dirty little secret.
I went through books kind of like Kleenex at the time. I would like read it, toss it, read it, toss it. And so like I think I just was like voraciously consuming.
Gotcha.
And might have lasted a week.
Because I remember you had a big thing for Interview with a Vampire.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but in hearing that you actually did have earlier exposure to BDSM makes sense. I was just actually remembering in my head while you were talking the song that you wrote with Jenny Oberst. I remember one of them was like, she's playing the synthesizer because she was, all educated and sophisticated and had piano lessons. So she's playing that, whatever the hell it sounded like. Yeah. Like an organ farting. No pun intended. And then I remember the words were snake, whip, guts, bleed, all for passion, all for greed. Admit it, you masochistic son of a bitch. You lust for my pain. Those like the words to it.
Yeah.
And then do you remember this one? You guys wrote this too. Celibate Monday, celibate Monday. No one gets fucked on a celibate Monday.
Monday. And I remember some of the other lyrics were like, I tried my dog. cat and ferret. Oh, well, fuck it. I'll use a carrot.
Right, that's right.
It was total like new wave. And the synth was just like
kind of Berlin-esque.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So
bad. Teresa and I have been sitting here talking about like because she and I wrote a Christmas song. Well, we wrote a parody of a Christmas song when we were in high school. Or
no, not even high school.
You were junior high.
I
was I in
swear,
junior high as well?
I remember we were in the apartment over. I was 7th grade. You were 9th grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, we were youngins, and we wrote like a pretty nursty one.
Yeah.
Do we want to sing it a cappella?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
My nuts roasting from a juicy fart. Jack Frost coming on my nose. Dildos rejected because of what I injected. And it gets harder as it grows. Everybody knows that doobies and some Spanish fly will help to make the evening right. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow from Playboys under their pillows. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of little sex toys on his sleigh. And every sex-crazed child is gonna say, hey, Santa really knows how to play. Boom, boom, boom. And so I'm offering this sleazy thrill to kids from 1 to 92.
That's right, Dudesy, that's you.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, I just like to fuck you.
You're welcome. And that's from our minds at age maybe 13 and 11 and a half.
I could have even been, like I would have been 12 because my birthday's in February.
Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Oh, no, I would have been 13.
I'd have been 12. You'd have been.
13 and a half?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about
there
right.
There we go.
I'm like, me do math? What?
Me math.
Yeah.
Good.
But we did pretty good for not having sang it in fucking forever.
Yeah. It's just the details. So all we need to do is just like write it out, maybe work up some harmonies so it sounds really
Let's cut
pretty.
an album. Let's do a Christmas album.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Merry XXXmas.
Yeah, and then the bonus tracks can be like 30 seconds of Celibate Monday. And
exactly. I like that a lot.
Oh my God, that'd be so fun.
Last week I played, or Michael played Frosty the Blowman. I really was last year just like, I'm going to cut a whole Christmas album. Yeah.
I really do want to sing. I want to write the rest of the, what is it? Dewdrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
Shittens on shittens.
Sticking my dick in rotisserie chickens. And then it just needs to go on, like from there. So that's
so good.
It came from a meme. I'm not going to pretend like I made that, but I think I can flesh this out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And then, of course, with my girlfriend, she's like, well, that doesn't sound very comfortable. There's all those ribs in there. And I was like, well, maybe we stuff the rotisserie chicken first. Oh, we put some liver in it, some raw liver.
Constipated, so its rectum is nice and stuffed first.
And then, of course, my boyfriend says, well, turn it around and use the neck hole. And I was like, brilliant.
I love it.
Oh my God. Okay, so what were we talking about earlier where there was like, you brought up safe word. We have these conversations beforehand and we're like, for the love of God, we need to save this for air because it was too ridiculous.
I know. You just can't stop us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were talking about like your safe word. And what were the ones that came out for you?
I don't have safe words.
I can't remember what you said. And for real, I think my safe word is the funniest because it is cloaca.
Yeah.
Because no one is going to get excited hearing the word cloaca. Everybody stops what they're doing and goes,
well, what if they've heard your rotisserie chicken stuffing song first? They might get a different idea.
They might be like, cloaca, yeah.
Cloaca, yeah. Chicken pussy. Is it enticing? I mean, really, it's the wonder hole. You know, it shits, pisses, lays eggs. It is the wonder hole.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can lay an egg, it can take a D.
That's true.
I'm not saying to fuck a chicken. Okay, let's just get that very clear. Animal rights.
Yeah,
consent.
Animal rights.
Chickens can't give consent.
We don't endorse fucking chickens' cloacas. That's
not
cool.
alive. But a rotisserie chicken, that's
I suppose.
story.
Like if your
We're gonna get hate
family,
mail for
if your
this.
family wants the extra mayonnaise on it, I think that's all right.
There you go. We're skirting the line right now. Skirting the line.
Skirting the line, bod. Skirting it. We're dancing a dangerous dance.
Yeah.
It's the shatango.
The shatango, exactly. The hate mail-o. Yeah, so Shar, have you exposed yourself to erotic literature before? Besides Anne Frank and 15-year-old BDSM.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have. It's been a really long time. But remember My Secret Garden? That was a great book. That was a total Jane off book. Like, I Janed off so many times thinking about those stories.
Janed off, Jack and Jane. Okay, I get it.
Or it could be Jilled off, I suppose.
Clammed off or something.
Yeah. I breaded the clam.
There you go. You're spitting clam.
All right, really quick.
Make some clam chowder. What?
Yeah. Clam chowder. Well, I was just gonna say, let's talk about all the ways we can, all the names for female masturbation. Flicking the bean, clam chowder, stuff in the ham wallet. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not prepared for this. I mean, my God, if I had some time, I could make a list.
We could.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so maybe we do that next time. Some more names.
We'll put that on our Christmas list for Santa.
Yeah,
but I have to say, I am really, I'm surprised at how erotic it is, how engaging, and I get really into hypnosis on YouTube and things like that. And so for me, like I was going through audible.com looking for like some kind of like, exotic short stories, and I landed on one for The Voice. What is it about like these, kind of somewhere between British and Australian voices talking like this?
Oh, yes.
And then,
totally.
Yada, yada, yada. I mean, oh God, it was just, most of it's probably The Voice. This woman's voice was amazing. But I found that listening to it made me much more open-minded. There's something about the way in erotic literature, your mind, your own imagination gets engaged so much more. And I know that like that's been recommended for people that like, want to make sex better for their partners, and especially if they have problems orgasming and stuff like that, is have them buy into it, have them work for it a little bit, get engaged instead of just do this for me, do this to me.
Yeah.
And there was something about that I could see, I could experience like, oh, wow, this is something. It's so great to be experiencing new things at my old age.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that makes it work so well is that it doesn't have visuals. Like if it were a graphic novel, that wouldn't work for me at all, because I'd be like, that's totally not how I picture that person.
Totally.
Or that character or whatever. And that was how I felt when the Interview with the Vampire books movie came out. Even though it starred Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, yada yada, super hot, that's not at all how I pictured them.
Right.
They were much less classically good looking, and I thought that was what made them hot in my mind.
Right.
And so I see these guys and they look like beefcakes, and I'm like, wow.
Now I have to say, I never had a thing for any of those like Hollywood dudes like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or what was it? It wasn't Antonio Banderas. Was it Antonio Banderas?
It was. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
He was
okay.
Armand.
Yeah. Never had anything for those guys. I saw that movie 3 times in the first week it came out. I was like, oh my God.
Put some white
pancake
makeup on their faces. Jesus. And you're like,
yeah, I found my fetish. I found my porn. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It worked for me, but I didn't have any pre-existing pictures. I was illiterate when I was younger. So.
Oh my God. I knew exactly what Lestat looked like. He was like crystal clear in my mind.
Describe him.
Oh. Pasty white, green eyes, jet black hair.
Oh, jet black hair.
Yes. And he had like a very kind of hollowed cheekbones because, he's a vampire. He's super skinny.
So he looked like Christian Slater.
Kind of, yeah. More like it would have been more accurate in my mind to have Christian Slater play
Yeah.
But I think that might not have been as big of a box office hit.
Yeah.
Although for me,
right.
I would have been like,
yeah. Right. Yeah. And thinking too about all this erotica, I was, you know me, just always fucking thinking too much. And just feeling into the possible service that it could be providing for people. Because one of the things I liked about it is I was listening to all these stories is that it's different than, even if like you're watching porn, for instance, you don't hear what the people are thinking.
Yeah.
And so as I'm watching things, I get more distracted, believe it or not, when there's less dialogue, because I start looking at the porn star and being like, oh, those tits look painful. I wonder what a relationship like is with her dad, things like that. What's her self-esteem, like, how's she going to feel about herself when she ages? But, again, there's no victim. There's no one really being exploited in this kind of erotica. And so one of the services I think that it can provide is it kind of gives the reader or the listener permission to have these experiences and suspend all the limitations of who they are. So it's like, I'm a much more like sensitive, neurotic person. And so to be able to escape myself and get into another person's mind and hear what they're thinking, I'm just kind of like, I've hooked my carriage on that, stallion, and I'm going for that ride. And there is something freeing about it, something liberating about getting out of my own like, but
empathy, your empathy mode, like because when you're watching porn, or at least for me too, like I can't set empathy aside. I can't not feel like,
me too.
Oh, dude, she's being DP'd. Those dicks are way too big. That's gotta hurt, And I'm like, oh, poor sweetie. She's gonna have to like ice her pussy for days,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's hard to not think that when you see things that are so disproportionate and happening and stuff. Like, oh God.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I was noticing that it did for me is that you get to escape, have a different erotic experience and escape your own mind, including like your own fears. So like when it's in real life, being a thinker, feeler, empath type, I tend to be thinking like, ooh, what's this going to do for our relationship? What is this going to do? What is this interaction going to do for, if it's a friendship, or what's going to happen down the road? Is this something I really feel confident about? I don't want to hurt this person. There's so much, empathetic caring there. And you get to just kind of like abandon, into like fantasy sociopath in a good way, where no one's worried about anyone's feelings.
The book don't care.
Yeah, the book don't care.
Looks like love me, hate me, I don't give a shit. I'm Harriet Porter.
Exactly. Oh my God. I do think you should open the book to some point and just read something, because like people need to get a taste of Chuck Tingle's writing style.
I just picked up, I'm starting on chapter 3.
Okay.
Page 21 of Harriet Porter. I'm watching through the windows of my cabin, peering up over the sill as I stare down the hill towards Snape's place. The sheriff, a handsome purple unicorn, of course,
it's a horse,
pulls right up next to the bright yellow sports car, climbing out of his ride and then taking in this exotic vehicle as though it's some strange craft from another planet. Eventually, he makes his way over to Snape's cabin door. But thanks to the crashing drums that have been emanating nonstop from within since I left, the sheriff ends up having the exact same problem that I did. Nobody can hear him knocking. Eventually, the unicorn ends up taking a stroll around the house, finally catching someone's attention through a nearby window. He returns back to the front door, which opens to reveal Snape once more in all his shirtless, tatted up glory.
Oh, go on.
Why does he have to be such an asshole? I find myself mumbling aloud. I watch as the two men talk, their faces slowly going from stern to good-natured. No, 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 I stammer to myself, watching as the dinosaur and unicorn begin to joke with one another, laughing together at some mysterious punchline. To my dismay, Snape suddenly opens his mouth and begins to sing the magical incantation, short and to the point.
Was that good?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I can see waves of bardic energy emitting from his throat in sizzling vapors, washing across the unicorn sheriff's face like this.
That was pretty sexy.
Yeah.
That was a good face.
Soon enough, the unicorn is nodding along with the Parasolophoros in a fit of feverish. Maybe I'll just say Parasolophoros.
Just say that next time.
Yeah. Feverish enthusiasm. Okay, so it sounds like he cast a spell on him with his sizzling stuff. Sizzling bardic energy.
Go on.
Suddenly, Snape points up towards my window, offering a wave and abruptly causing me to duck out of sight.
Yeah.
When I finally muster up the courage to peek back over the sill, both of the creatures had gone, but the sheriff's patrol car is still parked out front. Seconds later, there's a loud, authoritative knock at my door. I walk over, opening it up to find the sheriff, Unicorn, standing before me. He's got a wide-brimmed hat and silver hair that pushes out from under it ever so slightly, as well as a large, brilliant white mustache. Oh, it's a mustachioed unicorn.
Foreshadowing.
The unicorn's horn pops out through the middle of his hat, twinkling in the light. The guy looks like everything a big city girl like me would imagine in a lawman from these parts. Harriet Porber? He questions. I nod. That's me. I'm the one who called. You're new around here, right? He's got a sexy voice,
so
dude.
Yeah, he sounds like a Muppet gurgling semen. Go on.
The unicorn continues. That's right, I reply with a nod. The unicorn laughs. Well, as long as you're not here to drink my blood, you'll fit in just fine around here. I'm Sheriff Thompson. Snape's gonna quiet down over there, the unicorn assures me. I gave him a warning and told him to take a break for the day, but most days he's allowed to make noise from moon till sundown. Maybe not so damn loud, though. If he pumps up the volume like that again, you just give me a call. Okay, I feel like I have to kind of like scoot forward here.
Yeah. Just scan with your eyes. Get to the
I'm gonna look for the words cock.
Yeah.
And things like
and jizz and hollow stuff like that. Because he is surprisingly. So this one that I was listening to, Chuck's Bigfoot Tinglers, all about Bigfoot. Wow, he is so graphic and is not shy at all. And I actually did find it. I was doing some kind of work on my computer as this was playing in the background, and it was exciting. And I don't just mean like tingling below, but I mean it was just mentally exciting because you just don't imagine yourself having these kinds of thoughts on your own. So just some kind of super creative freakazoid like Chuck Tingle going into his world. Whoa! He actually made a board game too. Yeah, I think it was called like the Tingleverse or something like that.
Oh, the Tingleverse!
But if anyone out there plays Dungeons and Dragons, please, I'll buy this game for you. I just want to see someone play it. I don't know how to play D&D's games.
Yeah, I remember when I got a Dungeons and Dragons game and nobody in the neighborhood would play with me, and so it really sat. I opened it. I looked at it. You never
asked me. What
you did? You wouldn't play it either. You looked at the rule book and you were like, that's too complicated. And I was like, well, I'll read the rules.
Let's just play sexy Barbies. Yeah. Let's put Ken on Barbie.
It was like this with our Barbies. Rockin' fucking, rockin', rockin' fucking. Rockin' fucking, rockin', rockin' fucking.
I thought it was Rocky Fucky because that was the doll's name.
Oh.
Well, the punk rock Barbie.
Maybe I was saying rockin' fucking because that was her song, but her name was Rocky Fucky, I guess.
Oh, the whole time I was singing Rocky Fucky. Yeah.
Rocky Fucky, Rocky.
You guys should see this punk rock Barbie we had. We spiraled its head with a pair of scissors so that you could pull her mohawk, and make her head stretch out.
Was she the one that we cut her hair and put it as pubes and underarm hair too, right? And then we put Vaseline on her butt because we thought Vaseline smelled like butts.
Yeah, we wanted to make it more realistic.
Yeah, totally real. And we took needles and pushed it into her breast so she had nipples.
Well, to clarify, it was those sewing pins that had the red colored tips on them. So I'm sure people, just to clarify, people like, oh my God.
We pierced her boobies.
I know. What a couple little psychopaths.
Okay, I have to say this book does not get into sex really quickly. I mean, I'm already in chapter 4, and they're still kind of working on the build up here.
Wow. Well, it must be quite the scene, at the end.
It's got to be like chapters.
It might be. He does write some that aren't sexual. So maybe that's one of them. But I mean, it looked like one of the sexual ones.
Well, I mean, her midriff is exposed.
That's true.
And
she wants it dressed like
Snape.
that.
So Snape is this guy.
Yeah.
Look at Snape's
the
rippling
hot
abs.
jalapeno dinosaur.
Right?
I
love his.
Well, now I just want to listen to a portion of. I think it'd probably be illegal for me to play Chuck's Bigfoot tinglers.
Can you say it?
But that's what I was wondering. I was going to try to get to a part.
It's hard to do, but I bet you can. You're going to be like, I did that.
Let's see. Maybe you can.
I found the word cock.
Oh my God. Okay, go.
Suddenly, Snape's enormous member has erupted out onto my face, a dark green strap-on with a thickness unlike anything I'd ever seen. It's so enormous that it actually startles me, staring down at his Bardic python as it sways in the fresh forest air. Whoa, prehensile cock.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, this is my cock, the dinosaur informs me. Don't call it a strap-on. Don't even think of it as a strap-on. This is my dick. Understood? You've got a huge cock, I reply with a smile. I open wide and take Snape's dick between my lips, bobbing my head up and down across his length while the dinosaur above me moans loudly, his voice echoing out across the woods. Suddenly he turns into Chewbacca.
Right?
Oh my God. Have you ever made Chewbacca noises during sex? Because I think that might be a good thing to try at some point.
I was dared by a couple of friends to make pig sounds. Though,
I did that.
You did it.
I did right. It was really funny.
Yeah, my sex life was already on the line back then. I didn't want to push it. I was already exactly being neglected. I was like, I don't want to do anything to fuck up what little sex I get.
It's my weekly sex. I can't give it up by going oink 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 oink.
Right, exactly.
Because that's exactly what I did, and it was funny.
Oh, good. And it didn't RAP his boner.
No, it was funny. I think anyone who knows me is like kind of prepared for almost anything at any point anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Gotta roll with
it. One thing I'm curious about, I should check my Facebook page because I did put a blast out there on Facebook and I asked people hey, are you into erotica of any kind? Excuse my farting computer. Yeah, blame it on the computer. Mm-hmm. And I'm just curious if anyone got back to me. It probably wasn't the best time of day. Everyone's, at work like, we're trying to actually not get fired.
Hello.
Jazz. Sorry, my dog. She's so gassy.
She is disgusting.
She is disgusting.
I think you need to have her put down. No, I'm just kidding, people. I really do love Jazz. She's adorable.
She is adorable. So let's see. Let's see if anyone said anything to me. No, no one loves me. Great. Just like I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I need more perverted friends. This is very disappointing.
Your friends are very uptight, man, dude.
Yeah, hey.
Come on, you pervs.
Yeah, listen to the Viking.
Do it like you mean it.
All right, let me see what I can say that about Chuck's Bigfoot tinglers that he's saying on here.
Yeah, tell me some tinglers, and I'll just sit here and stroke my beard.
Okay.
I'll stroke my Viking titties.
What? I can't hear you. I have earbuds, and I should take one out.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so he's at this point, so the journalist has gone into it's the Sasquatch that became the U.S. president. Mm-hmm. He's going in to give him an interview, and let's see if I can actually handle.
Microphone.
No, you know what? I think it's going to be too confusing for my little ADD brain because he talks pretty fast, so I'm going to have to be listening and talking at the same time. Everyone just get Chuck's Bigfoot tingler. It's so funny.
You can slow it down,
Yes, that is the talking like
and then he pulls out his Bigfoot cock. His mighty, mighty Bigfoot cock. I feel like I have to stick my lips out like this.
You kind of do. Otherwise, the mustache is going to fall. And then you're really going to look like you were giving a rim job to a clown.
I feel like a Yukon Cornelius.
You totally look like Yukon Cornelius. Oh, do you guys remember that from the reindeer special?
Yes. He was my favorite character. When he licks his pickaxe, every single time I'd be like,
Well, so this reminds me now, squirrel. But it's a good squirrel. It's actually, I'm on task today. So did you ever see the Shades of Grey movie?
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey? No, and I never read the book
Shades
either.
Of Grey. Right.
I was convinced that it was going to be horrible. And so I did not watch it. And I didn't read it.
Okay, so you don't know either. I was convinced after hearing about it that I was like, that sounds too much like the kind of dysfunctional I already am. So I don't want anything like eroticizing it, because I'm like, that's the shit I'm trying to get over.
Totally.
That kind of idea that it's like, I had this theory though, because I know enough about the story that I developed a theory on a movie I've never seen before. And
let's go for it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
It's the unsubstantiated theories segment with Teresa Bawd.
So, supposedly she's kind of this pleaser type that doesn't have the best self-esteem, and she gets with this guy, and he's, he likes to, kind of like cause people pain during sex and stuff like that.
Yeah. And he's older and more experienced.
Yes.
Let's not forget that, because this is so common in that kind of literature.
And all of us women, we are brainwashed by Disney and all these fairy tales to be like the hapless princess.
Save
me from myself and my destitution. And we're waiting for the knight in shining armor to come riding along and save us from our lives, because we're so disempowered and helpless and hopeless without a man's love making us complete.
That's right.
So, and it goes vice versa, right? Men are brainwashed to think that they have to do this, and it's it's a shitty story for everyone. It's a very disempowering story for everybody.
Yep, everybody loses.
Right. And so then I was thinking about like why I think the character's name is Anastasia, why she would be, she was kind of doing that thing that I see a lot of women doing in life. He kind of represents the knight in shining armor that's coming along to save her, but then he's actually really fucked up. And then so she sticks around, and it's like a lot of women have this savior complex. And I totally had that too, probably still do, but not as much as I did when I was young. And it's that idea, I think it's a combination inside of us of that super maternal aspect in us that just wants to care for the wounded and stuff.
He's just a wounded little boy on the inside.
And also I think it's mixed in with a scarcity conditioning of like, well, maybe this is as good as it gets for me, because maybe all, what I really want is just too good for me. I'm not good enough. So I'll work with this.
And that's totally reinforced. I could go through all the ways that we talk about men, how men are told they're not good enough in our society, but we're going to focus on the women right now.
Yeah.
Women are never pretty enough. They're never young enough. They're never tall enough. They're never thin enough. Their boobs aren't big enough. Their labias are too big. Their nose is too big. Their lips are too small. You pick yourself apart every single day,
right?
Especially as a young woman. And luckily, thank fucking God, as you get older, you start to just accept, I am what I am. And for better or for worse, this is my skin. This is my meat suit that I'm going to inhabit for the rest of my days. And you're at peace with it. But it took decades. Or
maybe you never make peace with it really, but you stop taking bullshit, because when you're younger, you might be thinking like, oh, well, because I'm all, because I'm this hideous mutated freak, maybe I can't stand up for myself because, I'm not good enough. Like, this person will leave me.
Yeah.
This is as good as it gets for me.
Yeah.
There isn't, what I really want out there, or I'm not worthy of it.
Yeah.
So, if I just shrink and shrivel and submit into this, decel myself into the point where this relationship, can go on.
I'll get smaller and smaller to make room for you. Oh my God. And gaslighting. So fun. I love it when people gaslight. Oh my God. Did you hear the joke about gaslighting?
No.
Yeah, you did. I told it to you last week. You don't?
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember? No, I told you.
On air.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So good. Your face was priceless.
I have so much experience with gaslighting. That's why.
You're like, I smell gas.
Yeah. I know you're lying, but I'm still going to give you a minute to,
so
before I come out. By the way, you do have clown jizz on your chin after wearing that hat. Yeah.
Damn that
yeah. But
hat.
Anyway, so it was fun, at least giving my, as I was, listening to all these erotic stories. And then of course that came up, the 50 Shades of Dismay or Disgrace or whatever.
Puke.
Yeah. That came up, and it really did make me wonder, what is it about this movie, this show, this theme that just took America by storm, because I think they said something like, maybe it wasn't the top earning movie. What was it about it? I forget the statistics, but in any case, it did. It took America by storm.
It did, for sure. And
And
it was
what
a
the
sensation.
fuck is going on with that?
And I think it was because it was like the first time that a lot of people had any exposure to a dom sub relationship or any sort of BDSM, and like, you know, they're buying their rope from like the Home Depot and stuff, which don't do that, scratchy. But you know, I have been known to go into Home Depot and buy lengths of chain and be like, make it about yay long.
You know, I feel like it could have even been too that for some reason it was just like the right time and place recipe to where that like portal opened up to where it was like the first book of whatever you want to call it, erotic literature that came out, that society decided, it was almost like subconsciously and unanimously, to give everyone permission to, you know, because it became popular. Then all of a sudden it, you know, there was acceptance and permission about it. So then all of these women finally had permission and an excuse to read erotic literature. And that could have been it, is that they really just never had permission before. But hopefully after that, they took it a step farther to hopefully explore a little bit more.
Yeah. And did you know that her vagina muled?
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It's like mewling. It's almost like an onomatopoeia.
What?
Oh, it's so weird. Some of the writing is just so bad. I'm like,
what is
my pussy's
a mewling vagina?
MEWLED, muled. I don't. It's like
mewling.
I don't know. I think it is like a.
What does it mean though?
I believe it's like
I'm online.
I believe it's like a sound of like
MEW,
like that, like
mewling quim, mewling definition. Okay,
mewling.
We're gonna find out right now. Cry feebly, or
exactly. Mewling.
I need glasses.
Her vagina
of a cat or a bird, make a high pitched crying noise. Mew.
So her vagina went like this.
Querulously whimper. Cry feebly.
I love the little bit of drool.
Well, she was excited, so we had to put a little moisture in there.
The mewling comes with moisture.
Yeah.
So why isn't a vagina fart called a vart? Like, why do we say queef? We could just say vart. I varted. It's like sharding.
Yeah.
It's like vart.
Vart. Let's start a new movement in dirty words.
I know. Vart is when you fart and you're wearing really tight pants so that it comes up the front and it makes your vaginal lips go. Yeah. So it exactly. It's a fart that travels all the way up around and goes past your clit and makes you go, whoa. that's a vart.
That's a vart.
That's a vart.
I like that.
I'm gonna stick with that. Vart.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, everybody. You heard it here first.
R.I.P. everyone's boner for the rest of the night.
You're welcome for the no boner.
Vart. Yeah, I like that.
But you have vart now in your vocabulary.
Yeah. It could be like a bubble tea, you can call it, like a bubble pee.
Bubble tea.
Yeah. Hopefully without the big tapioca balls. I love the way we've digressed on this. We were like, let's talk about erotic literature. Now let's just make gross jokes.
Let's just be disgusting.
Yeah. Magically disgusting. Ding.
Okay, so I remember my secret garden. Some of my favorite stories.
Oh, yeah. In case for those of you who do not know, we'll give you all the detail. This was a book we found. Sorry, Mom, we're outing you. We found it on our mom's nightstand in that same apartment. So probably when I was starting at the age of 12.
Yeah.
And then going on from there.
Yep.
Holy shitskadoodles. What a dirty book. It was written by women for women, right?
Yeah. And women just basically, I think, wrote in their favorite fantasies. It wasn't like one woman's fantasies. It was a bunch of women's fantasies. They wrote their favorite fantasies down, and it was like a compilation of the most creative, incredible fantasies I've ever read. And they're all kind of short. And some of them are,
dirty as fuck.
Dirty. Yeah. Some of them are dirty as fuck. And some are like really creative.
Yeah.
And, like I remember one woman was like, I'm just at home on a Saturday afternoon and I'm baking a loaf of bread. And I'm, mixing the ingredients. I put the bread in the oven and then the neighbor comes over and he's so hot. And like she starts talking to the neighbor and then he starts putting her up on the counter and the bread is getting bigger and bigger. Oh God. And the bread's turning brown and baking. And then they have an orgasm together. It's like just
from watching the bread.
Well, no, because he puts her up on the counter and he starts fucking her. Oh, maybe I forgot to say that part.
I don't know.
By the way, he's fucking her.
Yeah. Okay. No wonder. The one that I remember the most is the one where there's a woman who somehow had this like erotic fantasy about her stepson and his stepson's friends.
Yes.
Yeah. And something about chaining them up.
Yeah.
I swear, didn't she involve the husky in this fantasy, or was that a different one?
The dog was a different one. Yeah.
The dog was a different one. Okay. Because that was shocking too. I was like, I started looking at like housewives everywhere, and I'm like, you bitches are dirty, all of you.
You got peanut butter on your pee-pee.
Nah, if they have a husky at home, they don't. Oh my God. Oh shit. Yeah. The one with the stepkid and the friends too. It did make me look at like all parents everywhere differently forever.
Yeah, yeah,
because these are housewives.
Yeah, just
right in
adult women, just like blending in with society, and on the inside they're like husky. But I remember the dog one. She was like chained to a table or something like that. So it really wasn't her fault that she was letting the dog do that to her. I remember that had to be like a key component.
Should I answer this and see if this one wants to add to the show?
Yeah. Teresa's receiving a phone call right now.
Hello, Shams. Are you calling in to tell us about your favorite erotic literature? You're on the air.
But you're not on the air. We can't hear you.
It's okay. Chicken. Okay, bye. I knew he wouldn't have any. God damn it.
That's so funny. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, what were some of the other favorite ones? Okay, well, there was definitely like the home invasion rape one. And I have to admit, that's like a super dicey topic for most women. I think when it solely lives in the land of fantasy, I do think it's pretty hot. But in reality, obviously not a hot thing. Obviously, it's a violation. Huge,
absolutely.
Huge and violent act and not a sexy act.
And yet, since the basic formula of what people get off on, whether it's sexually or even like, that's the base of comedy itself is create tension, then release, right?
Yep.
And so whatever creates the most tension, can get the most release. And so that's why I've mentioned it before, but sorry about my dog, is that, people oftentimes have they're if they have been violated in some kind of a way, then oftentimes that can turn into a fetish. And because it creates so much tension, and if there's so much, the more there is faux pas around something, the naughtier it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I did have a therapist of mine one time ask, when I was talking about having been spanked as a kid, and I was like, man, it really pissed me off. And he was like, have you ever incorporated spanking, as kind of like a means of therapy? And I was like, fuck no. And then later on, I was like, maybe that's not a bad idea.
So not with him, not with your therapist.
Or no, not with my therapist and not with my dad, but with
go move along.
But with a partner, with a trusted partner, and like it is this. Taking something and acting it out is one way of kind of reframing it in your mind.
Right.
Of saying like, oh yes, the spanking that I received was unjust in my mind, but now I'm going to request a spanking and it's going to be totally different and it's going to look like this. And actually in the end, I am in control of what happens to my body. And so it's kind of a way of like, kind of taking back your power.
Right. That makes sense to me. You're giving consent this time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the, when it's done right in BDSM, the bottom should have the ultimate control. Hence
definitely.
The safe word like cloaca.
Yeah, like cloaca. Because nobody's going to keep going once you say cloaca.
Yeah. But, that said, this is not in any way promoting, burglars and
No.
rape and anything like that, but it's a common fantasy. I've heard this many times before.
It is.
The spanking, the the raping. Yes.
Yeah. And I think one of the common themes throughout those stories was exchange of power. So in some of them, she's chaining up her stepson's friends and she's in power. And then in others, she's there, she's chained to the table, she's quote unquote powerless, and the dog is going down on her and she can't help but have an orgasm and stuff like that. So
it seems like there's always an exchange of power happening.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of it. And I think that's part of, what makes those fantasies more stimulating emotionally or intellectually is like, it isn't just like, hey, honey, how was your day? Yeah, so Bobby pooped in his bed again. It's like it goes like outside of the normal relationship that you might be having with your partner, spouse, whatever.
Yeah, right. You don't read many vanilla erotic books, much of vanilla
That would be so funny.
erotica. Yeah.
Maybe we should try. Maybe that would be the challenge is to make the most vanilla erotic.
Let's both write a vanilla erotic short story.
Dude, let's do it. This is going to be so funny. All right, I'm going to write the most vanilla sex.
It'd be great.
What?
Oh, please. Anyone that's like bored enough out there, please write us a vanilla erotica story. Or
a Rocky Road one. Like whatever you want to write, we'll read it. It'll be funny.
That is a whole nother show. My God, if we could just get all of you guys to write some, an erotic short story, I would love to spend the entire fucking time reading erotic short stories that, friends and family and fans and whatever that you guys have written. That would be fucking phenomenal.
It could be anonymous. We don't care. Or if it's not anonymous, we'll give you credit. Yeah. We will. Maybe this could be the start of a new career for you.
Yeah. Yeah. The weirder the better, I think. After reading Chuck Tingle, the weirder the better.
Absolutely.
It's so entertaining. And it's so nice to be freed from the mundane.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things I liked about it is like, oh God, I just didn't even realize. I think one of the reasons I haven't read any erotic literature or watched a lot of porn is I'm so fucking bored.
I know.
By the mundane.
Yeah, it's like
but this guy taking President Bigfoot up the ass with a dildo and oh my God, that was so entertaining. Chuck Tingle.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the shit.
I love how Chuck Tingle so far in Harriet Porber and the Bigfoot story, there's a character that has like a strap on, but the strap-on carries sensation to that character. I
was confused by that. That's what's happening?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it is like, this is, don't call this a strap-on. It's not a strap-on, and it's prehensile, and it's sort of like moving with his body. And so it's like this cool way to think about those sorts of things too, like the use of toys and stuff.
Yeah, right. Or something beyond, anything beyond the norm.
Yeah.
Morphing ectoplasmic goo or something like that.
Oh, now we're getting down to like my fantasy. I should write down the one that I had when I was 13 or 12.
Oh, okay. That's another show.
Another.
Everyone write in your sexual fantasy.
Yeah, like your strongest one from childhood maybe, because those might be the weirdest.
Oh, yeah. Mine's about Duran Duran. I fucked them all. The whole band. Duran Duran.
She's hungry like a cougar.
Totally. Oh my God. That was so great. Yeah. But okay.
Steam in the slutty. Sperm in the slutty.
Sperm in the slutty. Yeah. But I was only 8, but
or
9. I don't know. But I really like the idea of like if people wrote in their fantasies like, okay, one, your earliest childhood, and the other is your favorite one now.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Ooh.
Because when I talk to people about their fantasies, like most of the time but sometimes I'm like, oh my God, you're a super freak and I never even knew it.
I love you, freak.
Yeah, that's some creative stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff you'd never expect from some people.
That'd be super sweet to do like a published book of like, because I don't think that My Secret Garden had any follow-ups. So it would be fun to have.
It did, actually.
Oh, it did?
It did, yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, you give us your fantasies and stories and we'll turn it into a book. Was that an orgy coffee table book?
Exactly.
I love it, dude. Yeah. Don't cup the pound. No, don't do it to me. You made me cup the pound.
You cupped my pound.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad most people couldn't see that.
I fisted your palm.
So 5:58. Wow, time flies.
Well, we've got 2 minutes, dude.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, I am really serious about people writing in their favorite fantasy or their favorite childhood fantasy or both.
Where shall they write
to? And we will be reading them. And yes, where should they send them to?
They shall write to wazatanorgy@gmail.com. Or you can also, I believe we have a Facebook page. Also, visit our Patreon.
Yeah, I think we got one.
We have Chris_VZT is our first patron. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much
for supporting us. That's so awesome.
You are a gentleman and a scholar.
You are a gentleman. A gentleman.
And a bonobo.
Yes, hopefully.
The best kind of bonobo.
Yeah, our bonobro.
A bonobro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could, yes, of course. Just to reiterate, play the little tiny violin. All this costs money, bitches. It's at this point, it's a labor of love that she's paying for. And so little compensation her way to keep the lights and cameras and the action going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying all this stuff now. But if you like and subscribe on YouTube, all the likes, all the subscribes, they get us closer to a place where we might get a little ad money. Oh, why am I'm Miss Chokes on Dick today.
Yeah. and hopefully what we can do is just make it like a little bar at the bottom or some like unobtrusive thing like that. Because really, I don't want to cut into our airtime. Like, oh,
hell no.
This is precious
no
to
rollover
me. This is
ads.
Girl. No.
Yeah. Although I looked into YouTube and it turns out that that's one of the best ways if you really like the artist you're seeing and you really want them to make more money. Do click on their ad and then click back out of it. That's when they really get the money. When you click on the ad, that's when they get the money.
Because they're counting how many viewers are actually engaging with the advertising.
Yes, exactly.
Totally makes sense.
So sometimes I do that. I'll just like click on the ad and then back button.
Yeah.
Jokes on Dick.
And be like, I don't really need depend undergarments.
Yeah. Exactly. But I want these people to get $1. Not like they get that much, but yeah.
But if they did, that'd be fabulous.
That'd be fabulous. Exactly.
Fabulous. Well, I feel like this was unplanned.
Absolutely
and
spontaneous.
Very fun. Oh,
yep.
Put this guy back
put
on.
that back on. Yep. Because, leaving here, you don't want to get raped. Put on your anti-rape yo-ho-to mask.
Yo-ho-to.
You're
the
yo-ho-to.
A really big forehead, too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. No one's going to rape that. Yeah.
Hello, little boys. Would you like to come say hello to me?
The Yukon Jack, though. Oh my God, it's too good. It's too good. All right, and then next week too.
Up every time I look on this
next week, let's bring in some recommendations for good Christmas presents, and I would like to hear from you guys what you think are some good Christmas presents. Because I've only bought 2 Christmas presents. And I am a devout Christian, and I want to buy some more.
That's right. Kidding. Buy presents for Christ.
Yeah, for Christ. It's Christ's birthday.
Oh, this is making me hot already.
I know. Just when you thought you couldn't get any hotter. But yeah, Christmas recommendations, fantasies. You got some homework. Go.
Give it to us.
Yeah. So thanks for joining in, and we will see you next Tuesday. Pew, pew,
Wait,
pew.
Are you calling me a cunt?
Yeah, you are a cunt. That's why I'm calling you a cunt, because you're a cunt. See? Remy, sing goodbye. Give him a little goodbye from the job.